and Lancaster.
Yes, sir.
Now, all of you have enlisted into one of the regiments of the Household Brigade, which, as you probably know, consists of the 2 regiments of Household Cavalry, the Life Guards and the Royal Horse Guards, usually known as the Blues, and the 5 regiments of the Brigade of Guards, the Grenadiers, Coldstream, Scots, Irish, and Welsh Guards. And the Household Brigade and the regiments in it have been noted for over 300 years for their very high standards, not only in peacetime, but also in war, in battle. You've got a long and a tough course ahead of you, and there's no question of doubt about this. It's long and tough to bring you up to the standards of a trooper and a guardsman, and these are of the highest. But that is something which I can assure you that you will always remember and always be proud of. Now, having said this, Iverson, do you wish to become a trooper in the Household Cavalry?
Yes, sir.
And you, Halliwell, a guardsman in the Grenadiers?
Yes, sir.
And you, Lamas, a guardsman in the Scots Guards?
Yes, sir.
And you, Lancaster, a guardsman in the Scots Guards?
Yes, sir.
All right, I will accept you into your respective regiments, and I congratulate you upon that.
Watch this way. I'll show you what I mean when I say keep the head up and bend the knee on your about turn. Watch this way now.
Well, I think a guardsman is, he's got to be a little bit above the ordinary infantry soldier because he's got a lot of tradition to live up to. He's been told from the day he joins that the guardsman is better than anybody else. He's a better soldier. He's the cream of the British Army.
Head kept up and the knee coming up with the thigh. Palm on the ground.
It's not easy when they first come here. They've got 2 left arms, 2 left legs. Their mind's a bit disorganized, and you teach him how to dress, clean his kit, how to think like a soldier, and his mind is bent and adapted now to receiving training. This is what it teaches him here.
Drill is the foundation of military discipline, and you cannot have an army without discipline. Now, soldiering in any form is a tough trade, and soldiers have to do a lot of things which they, as ordinary normal people, would not wish to do. And it is the confidence, as well as the obedience, and which they learn on the barrack square, which in fact is the basis of the discipline in the Brigade of Guards.
Non-commissioned officers! Fire! Are you present and play the Household Cavalry? 14! K! 13 cavalry!
I mean, it makes the difference between when you say go, well, at the end of 18 weeks, they will go.
By the right arm to the rear!
They come here, they see me when they first walk through the gate. Well, they think I'm a bit of an ogre. They say, oh, look out, there he is again. But after they've come to know me and they know that I'm only trying to push them along the right road, well, their attitude towards me changes as well. I mean, they're not frightening me or anything like that.
Punch through on guard and then under the second one, in, out, and on guard again. Is that understood? Yes, good, well done.
In there, out, punch on, and then up to the high post. You understand? Right, we'll cover this time.
Remember, the enemy won't be lying down at all the time. Sometime they're going to be standing, and the following actions are carried out. Now look this way. Now, all that happened there was, I come through, on, stomach right, got the weight of my body behind the rifle, pulled through, punched on guard in case there's any more standing enemies. Is that understood? Back, you wouldn't burst a balloon. Come back.
And then we dress them up in uniform, and at first, these fellas, they don't even know what's going on. They don't know what day it is sometimes.
You are a complete goon. What did I say? Salute to the right, and what did you do? Salute to the left, Sergeant, yes. And the finger from the tip of the palm there, all the way down the forearm is what? One straight line. What I could see was this, that, and everything. And this time when you salute there. And a little bit more effort, a little bit more drive, and a little bit more snap. Step off together.
Well, I disagree that it's sadistic. There's certainly no violence allowed. Bullying is not done. Anybody can make a fool of somebody else, and this is not the object of it, because you don't produce what you want to produce out of the man if you ridicule him. By all means, you have a joke at the right time. Even on the square, you can have a joke and a laugh.
Well, I think I got a great deal of satisfaction when I see a squad starting off, and they come on in, they're all corners, legs, arms, all over the place. And then after 18 weeks, when you see them passing out here in front of the commandant, well, I mean, sometimes their parents come to see them, and they have a lot of difficulty picking their own sons out in the ranks. They don't even know them. I mean, it changes that much.
Well done, Letty. Fix him or go. Come on. Finish that quick.
Come on, lad. If your mother could see you now, she'd say what a great soldier I am. Come on, hurry up.
Free hard, get your head in. Push him through.
You've got blood. You've got first blood. Well done. Come on. All over your trousers.
All the time.
Come on now. Keep it going. This is the last one. Hurl yourself through it.
Stand up, number one.
Extend. Good luck. Come on, Beaky, boy. You can do it. Extend.
Throw it now. Throw it to the wall.
Oh, get out of it. Get out of it. Come on, pull anything. Anything. Good luck. That's it. Now, where you go? Well done.
I'll remind you once again that it's a court-martial offence to take live rounds or empty cases off the range.
There's no live rounds or empty cases in my possession, sir.
No live rounds or empty cases in my possession, sir. May I have your permission to march my section off the range, sir, please?
Number one section.
Raise up.
Lance Tranquility Squad, 9 weeks squatted. Leave to Carons, please.
Yes, please, number this.
Carry on.
And you tell me,
Sit up.
what is the regimental motto?
sir.
No, it isn't. What is Septem Junctari Nuno, in fact? What motto is it? Can anybody tell him? Yes?
721, sir. It's the brigade.
It's the brigade motto, yes. The regimental motto is Oni Swati Mani Bon. Right, sit up.
Sit up, boy.
Who is the Sergeant Major of the Guards Depot?
Commissary Major Paul.
Think.
I
Sergeant
said
Major.
the Sergeant Major. All right, who's your company Sergeant Major?
Commissary Major Williams.
Right.
Sir.
Sir.
Who can tell me who the sergeant major is? Yes, let's have from you.
Sergeant Major,
Come on, don't
You don't know. You don't know.
Right, let's have from you then.
Sergeant Major Nichols, the Welsh Guards.
Nicholson, isn't it? Nicholson of the Welsh Guards. Well, you ought to know that by now. Right.
Leave to carry on, please. Carry on.
One of the things about leadership is the maintenance of some kind of a mystique that the people who are being commanded don't completely understand, something about the commander that they can't fully comprehend. And I think that this barrier of background and education provides this mystique. And the non-commissioned officers and other ranks know that they can't really surmount this barrier. Therefore, there's no feeling of trying to sort of emulate the officers because, well, they can't really. And I think that they realize this.
Sit up sharper, boy.
What have you done to
Left and idle.
Sir, I had a little accident in gym, sir, yesterday morning, sir.
I see. How did it happen?
Oh, well, sir, I went to pick some barbells upstairs doing exercise and some, accidentally dropped on my head, sir.
How many stitches you got?
None, sir.
Good.
Wasn't bad enough, that.
As funny as all that, is it? Stop. He's smiling. There's nothing to smile at. Sit up.
Now, can you tell me how many battalions we have in the regiment?
2, sir.
And where are they both stationed?
One in 1st Battalion stationed at Caterham Barracks, Surrey, sir. And the 2nd Battalion stationed at Wuppertal, Germany. PFPO 46, sir.
Well done.
And it's BF, not PF.
No. Right, can you tell me what the regimental motto is?
Hone soit quo mali pars.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
one version of it. Anybody say it's slightly better than that?
Sir.
All right, Trigg, let's have from you.
Hone soit quo mali pars.
Good.
Well done, Trigg.
I am adjutant here at Sandhurst, but it is in my capacity really as a serving officer of the Howsa Brigade that I act as a link with the regimental headquarters and help them in the selection of candidates and subsequently officers for the Howsa Brigade. The system is a very straightforward one. There's no mystery to it. It has been suggested by many that it is an essential qualification before joining the Howsa Brigade that one must wear not only an old school tie, but one of the accepted varieties of tie. This, I don't think, is true. He must not be an oddity when he joins. He must not be, we'll say, like a bean in a packet of peas or a bit of grit on a well-oiled machine. He must fit in. If an officer who joins any regiment, or any organization for that matter, is brilliantly clever, frightfully good, very ambitious, very successful, but for one reason or another he does not fit in, it simply is not going to work. For me to describe exactly what one is looking for, how one will detect a person who will not fit in, is very difficult to put into words. But I think one gets a feeling, perhaps.
Now, would you like to just come up to salute, please?
Look at me. When did you come in?
Tuesday, sir.
Tuesday. And how are you settling in?
I'm not settled in yet, properly yet, though.
You haven't?
Right, sir.
Where do you come from?
Wigan, sir.
Wigan. Good. Why did you join the Grenadiers?
I thought to see a bit more life.
What made you join the Grenadiers?
Thought I could better myself, sir.
Right, do you know anything about the regiment? At all?
No, sir.
Nothing at all?
Not much, sir.
Do you know how old it is?
1800, ain't sir? 1600.
Well, how old did you say about?
I would say about 1800, sir.
About 1800?
Yeah, sir.
Well, you're not quite right. It's 1656 it was founded, so it's about 310 years old. What made you join the regiment?
Best.
You thought it was the best?
For me, yeah. Sir.
Who told you that?
Nobody.
Nobody. You've always thought so, have you?
Sir.
Good.
It won't be the best if you don't start that knowledge rank, boy. Never mind your yes.
You
you've all been here 8 weeks at the Guards Depot now, and you know how to polish your boots, and you know how to blanker your belts. Now, I consider that you are up to the standard of an 8th week squad. I will therefore pass you.
Personally, if it was left to me, I don't think you'd get a weekend on this morning's performance. It wasn't a good performance, and you've got a lot to learn yet, believe me. Now, before you get away on this weekend, think of one or two things. You're being allowed out of the Guards Depot on a weekend, and you're dressed as a Coldstream Guardsman to the outside world. You want to act like one. Also, remember that when you get up to your hometown, surprisingly enough, the air at Pirbright's very healthy. We don't get many sick people here, but suddenly, when you get in your hometown, we get people going sick. There must be different air up there. And the other thing you want to do on leave is, if you get hold of somebody who wants to come back and join the regiment, bring him back with you. We'll fit him up. We'll knit him in. Now, the other thing you've got to do is remember that if you're going to Newcastle and it takes 6.5 hours to get there, it's obviously going to take 6.5 hours to get back. Right, now get away, have a good weekend, have a good rest. Don't get too fat and idle, with too much of your mother's pudding, and don't drink too much either. Look to your front. Right, Sergeant Robertson, get him away. Come on, pick him up, look sharp, you don't look as though you want to go.
Put attention. Turn to your left. Step to the time I call out.
By the right! Back, back, no, right, no, right, no, right, no. Good fires! Right. Eyes! Right.
Green Star dismounted, all correct, sir.
So near garments?
Near garments at all, sir.
All right.
One minute. Johnson. Today's election there.
That means march in your orders, please.
Yes, please.
So the second report was just on Kelly's report in that date, so this guardsman, sir, presiding on the line as Mark, sir, in as much as that he was failed to swing his arm to the correct head, sir, and on 3 occasions, sir, missed the change arms word of command, sir.
You prepared to accept my award, or do you want to go for trial by court martial?
No, I accept your punishment, sir.
Forfeit 3 days' pay, forfeit 2 days' pay by royal warrant.
Hurry! Number 50, right turn! Quick on! If that, 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 mark ahead! If that, if that, not started! Now! Right turn!
Officer McNichol, apply to see his commanding officer with reference being granted permission to marry.
Sir!
It's not a very convenient time for the battalion, as you'll probably realize, to have your wedding in the last week in August.
A bit difficult for me to change it at the moment, sir.
Yes. So you've made the arrangements that long in advance?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How long have you known in advance? A long time?
Yes, sir, 2 years.
2 years. And you know her parents and she knows yours and that sort of thing?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, John. Well, yes, what's happening? I'll grant both applications and wish you the very best of luck.
Right
No, Pele is a tremendous leveller. We don't mind who we're playing against.
Coach, that's just for the last one from behind. Well done.
We're going to give 3 hearty cheers for the Major General. Fill your lungs. Come up! Hey! Come up! Hey! Come up! Hey! And one for luck. Come up! Hey!
All right, we're going to get in about a quarter of an hour, and we're going to jump in 2 sticks, separate sticks of 8. They're the envy of the Parachute Brigade and the leaders of the Parachute Brigade, and this is instilled into our guardsmen from the very moment that they start their 2 weeks of horror on their parachute course at Abingdon. Remember that the exit is basically the start of a good... Behaving here and behaving in a battalion, the social gap obviously remains just the same, but the men respect this, and they don't respect it when they find that an officer doesn't behave like an officer or doesn't behave like a gentleman. We do sometimes drink with our guardsmen, but it's a rare thing. And one quite often hears the real home truths after the 3rd or 4th pint of beer. He doesn't know what he's saying. But the next morning, the guardsman, he has gained his respect for you again. He is back in the right place. And another occasion might be if Guardsman Jones or someone got married. He might well ask me to his wedding. If he had been in my patrol in Borneo and I knew him particularly well, and then I would probably I'd go to his wedding. I'd like it very much. But then I wouldn't necessarily ask him to my wedding, you see.
Like when I go around the barracks to picket officer, I look for paper on the square, and when I get to the cookhouse, I make sure the food is cooked correctly.
And if you move about during the presents, the dressing will go before the Queen comes on parade, as it did the other day. And the view from the inspecting officer's point of view is appalling. All right, Tom Major.
Cadet! 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 The music.
The reason that these guardsmen are wearing their bearskin caps with their khaki for practice is to get them used to the weight, because it's quite a hefty weight on your head, and your forehead gets a bit hot and expands. The next thing you'll know is you feel as if your head is being enclosed by a steel ring. The next thing you'll know, you're flat on your face. That, in fact, is why people faint rather than parade weariness or any reason like that. I used to sit in my office in civilian clothes with a bearskin cap on my head for an hour each afternoon just before the parade to get used to the weight and to get used to the feel of it. And in that way, I rather hoped that the steel band effect wouldn't happen to me, and it fortunately didn't. see, I think all clubs or organizations have their own peculiar little rules and bylaws, and we have ours. One of them is that an officer, if he wants to, can wear his cap at lunch or at breakfast even. And possibly that originates from being prepared to dash out at a moment's notice to go and fight or whatever it may be. It's entirely optional, and people can or don't have to. I mean, they can do it or they needn't do it if they don't want to. It's entirely optional. Personally, I usually don't do it. I find it uncomfortable.
Too much in the center! Too much! Get back! Get up here! Come on, cut it off! Cut it off! Cut!
May I please Mr. Murphy guard please?
Yes, please, Constable.
May I be dismissed the escort to McAllister, please?
Yes, please, Constable.
Roll, salute! Present! Type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3.
There was a new one today, sir.
Is it? Yeah, well, we can't do much more about it.
Yes, sir.
Now, try and hurl yourself up when the Queen's X are coming round past you. And that looks a bit droopy, too. That one's a bit droopy. He's holding himself up. Boy, not press it on. Now, try and hurl it up just when the Queen's coming past you. And let that arm go, put it down again, your tunic's right up.
Now remember, the people over here, remember the Queen's going to come down twice. Twice right round, and then a third time she's going to come back from the tea tent. Any questions? I want you fell in at 10 minutes to 4.
I give these colors into your hands now, confident that whatever the future may bring, you will continually strive to add fresh honor to the reputation of your regiment.
I went to the depot to begin with, which was for 6 months. Nobody spoke to me during those 6 months. And then I went to Wellington Barracks, where I hoped everyone would speak to me, but also nobody spoke to me there for a further 6 months. So in fact, I had a total year of silence to begin with.
Well, when I first joined, what I used to look forward to more than anything else was in fact going away on Windsor Castle Guard, which was in fact in the height of summer. And it was very amusing. You had tourists to the tune of about 500 to 1,000 going to see Windsor Castle every day, every nationality. And during 24 hours tour of duty, the officer has to do a patrol once by day, once by night. And the day patrol is terrific fun. If you pick your time well, if you're conceited as I am, you go at about 4 o'clock when there are lots and lots of people about, and all the more people to look at you. It's very good for your ego. And you then stride out, looking quite as supercilious as you can, and you inspect the relief, and then off you go on your patrol of the sentries. And I should think it takes about half an hour, quarter of an hour, half an hour to get round Windsor Castle. I think if you're lucky, you have your photograph taken about 200, 300 times in that space of time.
When I joined, I thought that every bird in London would be thrilled at the sight of me in my red tunic. I was quickly disillusioned. So I asked all the girls I knew to quickly come and see me whenever I was in any form of uniform. And they really took no interest in me at all, but banged on about their beatnik friends who had long hair and didn't wash.
I got a cousin of mine trained to come whenever we were on public duty, such as street lighting or something like that. She used to appear opposite me in the Mall or wherever I was and film me, which was great fun. We used to call the films The Queen and I.
Thank you very much, Black Major.
So, slunge in thee.
Good night, Black Major.
Good night, sir.
I think people are rather inclined to go on the impression that we're wooden tops. People think that because we're stationed in London that we seem to spend a lot of our time in nightclubs. It's probably very true. At the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean that we don't take our sailoring seriously, because we do take it very seriously. It's just an impression that people think that because you're out half the night that you can't take your sailoring seriously in the morning. This is entirely wrong.
Right, gentlemen, the weekly briefing. First of all, the enemy Orbat. As before, the irregulars are scattered throughout with these regular Indonesian forces.
It makes it a great deal easier if there is a social gap. Because I think the troopers are, as they don't really understand, as you come from a different world to the world that they come from, and the fact that you're put in command of them, it makes it much easier because you are different.
But it's got nothing to do with money or, because nowadays in England, everyone's pushed. I mean, we're not living 50 years ago now. Everyone's got to work. Everyone has to earn their living.
When we're on exercise, they like to go to a large house or something, and we very often do, and they sleep in the grounds or something. I think they rather like this. Same way that if an officer has a cocktail party in London, he's never pushed to get anybody to come up and wait and hand the drinks round. They really enjoy doing this.
I mean, it's there and that's that. And I think it's entirely accepted by both sides.
There's nothing worse in particularly in a place like this, for instance,
when one's just got 8 officers stuck away in many miles from anywhere. If one's got someone who just has got completely different ideas on life from ourselves, he'll be miserable and he'll be awkward to us who live right on top of each other to have him around. But I say there's no particular barriers, social or people who say one's snobbish in this attitude at all. It's nothing to do with that at all. It's just a question of people mixing. And you can get somebody who's a millionaire, titled person, whatever he may be. He may not fit at all there. And then we don't want him, we don't see him. It's annoying, I think, people to think one just trots down to horse guards and back. That's all one does. Yes, of course it is.
Trooping the colour from, I think, as far as we're concerned, is one of the most boring things we ever have to do. Because we sit for 50 minutes before we ever do anything. Across the front of horse guards, by the Guards Memorial, just sitting, doing absolutely nothing other than perhaps carrying swords, sloping swords, but from anything else, we do absolutely nothing. And one gets mounted while the trooping, I don't know, in barracks, nights which I think we got mounted around 10 o'clock, if I remember right.
Yes.
And you probably don't get off until 1 o'clock, 12, yeah, coming up for 1. It's a long time to sit on a horse.
It's very boring for the horse.
And it's very boring from the horse. And he moves from one leg to the other. And you're supposed to keep him standing on all 4 legs. And he goes down one side and you kick him and he goes down the other side. I think it's very boring.
The great pride of it, we might have, obviously wears off after a bit. And that's 3 Saturdays running in the summer, you know.
The operation we're going to do is called a snap, seal and frisk. We do it in order to try and catch terrorists who are going to throw grenades, going to shoot someone. One of the things, of course, you had to be jolly careful about in this part of the world is women because of the Muslim law. Stop!
Over there, this side. In the middle. All in the center. All sides.
You got one, Tom.
Come on, and you. And the next. Come on.
Put down.
Go through there. Get out of it. Next one. Come on, pass him through.
Move! Come on! Come on, move it quickly! Move it, move it, move it!
And it may be you may do 100 of these operations and never catch anyone, but still you're being a success because you're putting the terrorist off. He's not quite sure where he can go next safely.
You can say it's offensive defensive, but it is basically a defensive war. It must be. The troops that are here are too few in number to sally forth into this infinitely remote, uncharted territory in search of dissidents who, in fact, you don't really know whether they are dissident or not. Because every man here carries a rifle, and it's quite impossible to tell who is friend or foe. I'm not suggesting that we are here because we enjoy fighting or killing, very far from it. But I think unless a little spice can be added to the training, where you know that unless you do your job properly, you will get killed, this is what we shall miss by not having a similar station to come to in the future.
Gentlemen, Command officer.
Here, sir.
Everyone is present.
Right, please sit.
Okay, Simon.
It's a pride in being a regimental sergeant major. I just can't put into words my feeling. They say pride is a sin. If so, then I'm very, very sinful in having the pride of this badge.
Intelligence reports. Well, we've been reported that a party of 30 dissidents...
They are at all times gentlemen, and to me, officers and gentlemen go together. I'm another rank. Whether I'm a regimental sergeant major, even though I'm a regimental sergeant major, I'm another rank. I come up through the ranks. Well, they didn't. They come from via public school, maybe military school, and then the Royal Military Academy of Sandhurst. Well, I would much prefer officers to be as they are now than some I have heard of yet never come across who will come up to me, slap me across my back, and say, "How are you doing?"
This is very kind of you to give us all lunch. I think it's most generous and kind.
It is perhaps one of the few places remaining where a guardsman, a young guardsman, may see a little adventure, where he may see new faces, where he might see new places. And I think all soldiers, whether we're guardsmen or not, view with a certain amount of apprehension the fact that before very long, places like Aden are going to disappear altogether.
Now, Emir Sharfield.
I'm Emir Sharfield.
The 1st Battalion Welsh Guards
الكتيبة الأول حرس الملكي الوelshi
have been operating in your territory
كان في المنطقة حقك
over the last 12 months.
لمدة 1 سنة تقريبا.
And very shortly,
وبعد قليل
we are going home to England.
بنروح لبريطانيا.
Before we go,
من قبل ما نروح من هنا,
we would very much like you to accept this sword as a token of our friendship to you and to your people, who we've met during our time here.
وهذا هدية من شان كل واحد إن شاء الله في المساء كل شيء بيكون صانع كل واحد بالبلاد. Thank you very much. Very happy to you.
Will you say how very kind that is?
The country is very happy.
This is the most magnificent sword. And will you thank him on behalf of the battalion for his very generous gift, which we shall always treasure.
الخير يقول هذا سيف مرة واحد ممتاز ومشكور جدا من شان هذا ودائما أنت بلكن بتقرأ حقنا.
And will you say that the green velvet is the right colour for the Welsh Guards?
هذا اللون من شان هذا الكتيبة حقنا.
That's very kind.
I'm glad to see they're really getting down here.
Okay. Yes.
Main Guard Tower of London, sir.
Show plume,
Pull down,
I am so happy for you, Guy, that you now got engaged.
Where is this? I'm sorry I can't come this weekend, actually. You did suggest it, but no. I'm otherwise engaged.
Who comes there?
The Keys!
Who's Keys?
Queen Elizabeth's Keys!
Goodbye. I just expected. I didn't hear.
No, it won't be late. 10:30 on the dot.
No wrinkles?
No, none whatsoever, sir, bar what you normally get.
Yes, that's much better.
The ticket's there, what is this speak?
I wonder you're not very good fitter.
No, wrong with this caper.
See, Piggott was up in front of the stewardess.
Let's go after this and get me on, you know.
Is that on straight?
Well, it's as straight as you'll get it, sir, because it's the way the two pins are behind it.
All right.
Right, get outside. Get on parade, quickly. And form up in 2.5 companies. Evans!
Who's in there?
Bowes, get in there. Sergeant Evans! Come here. Who is it, Evans? My lord. You want, mate? Your hands are too long.
Tabernacle! Do you know where to go?
Hey, it's okay, you got still back to go.
And the Scottish.
Good morning, Shepherd.
You can't get over
I've heard a lot about you since I saw you last.
I haven't seen much of you,
All right. Will you have him adjust his curb chain as well, will you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Rear rank, pick up your dressing and take it. Move to the right in please. Side,
Garrison Sergeant Major, sir. On this particular occasion, gentlemen, could be classed as a very sad occasion or a very honored occasion for us to have dining with us tonight one of our own members who is rounding off his term of service this year, Garrison Sergeant Major Stone. What more, gentlemen, can I say, other than that we're so proud to have him here. This little dinner here, this little family party for him. A family party, gentlemen. He is a member of this great family of ours. George, this small little gift, George, we would like to accept on behalf of the Science Mess and hope that always you will remember us. The Garrison Sergeant Major. Thank you.
Regimental Sergeant Major. Dear gentlemen, there it is. This is awful. I mean, I just can't sort of content myself now with this. But first of all, gentlemen, I just say, from the very bottom of my heart, this is a great honor. This is a thing I didn't envisage, you know, at all. But I thank you very much. Now, as a Mick and a good Mick. The Mick can give out the blarney, but by jizz, he doesn't like it, give him back to him. And I'm not going to give you the blarney. When I come into this mess, some young Irish Guardsman will come up and he will say, Sir or George, whatever the case may be, what are you having? And I am then a young man again. I am a young man again, you see. I'm young back as I was 40 years ago. Gentlemen, you'll remember the old words, you know. Panem on thee, but there it is. The dawn on the hills of Ireland. The angels of God lifting the veil from the fair, sweet face of my silent. Oh, Ireland, isn't it grand you look, like a bride in a rich adorning? Oh, Ireland, up from my heart of hearts, I bid you the top of the morning.